Yeah, this video I'm gonna talk about the movie Matilda. Um, all the things I have um took notice rewatching the movie. It's been a minute. Well, last time I watched the movie, I think it was last month, but I did want to make a movie about. I no bad. I did want to make a video about the movie for like a month now. Um, in this video, I want to talk about all the things that Matilda had to go through with her and her family, and just her growing up and her dealing with um, the different types of people within her life. Um, Even just her being a child, it was a lot. So yeah, so in the movie Matilda, it shows her, being born, you know. So her parents, so she had a, you know, she had both her parents with her, and she had an older brother. But it seemed like, it always seemed like, well, in the movie, it was like that. Her family kind of didn't really pay attention pay attention to her enough. You know, um, she was always into like reading books and not watching TV. Her family was more into watching TV and the drama, and she was really into learning and reading books and like learning as much as possible. I think even shows like a few scenes where her going to the library every day to run out of books. You know, and then there's a time period when she brought home like 20 books with her red wagon, walking from the library to her home, just reading, 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 just soaking in the knowledge. And then so I think she was about 6 when she asked her parents, um, "Can I go to school?" I think she asked her dad, "Can I go to school?" Her dad was like, "School, you know, he, like you're 6. That's what you're supposed to. That's what a 6-year-old kid is supposed to be doing, being in school. It shouldn't be a surprise for a parent, you know." So because she was really into learning, and school would allow her to learn even more. So her dad put her in school. I also want to say this about the dad. Dad was her dad's job was selling let's say used and not reliable cars. He would sell them for kind of a outrageous price, and the cars weren't really worth that, but he would still sell them. He would rip people off, but he didn't care. Um, and Matilda's mom, um, I guess she was more of a kind of mom who I don't think she had a job. She would just do her little errands, like get her hair done and go shopping and stuff like that. And the brother, he would go to school, but he wasn't really like a good older brother to Matilda. So yeah, Matilda's household wasn't I would say loving. It wasn't, what I'm saying, for her. So she had a hard time, in her childhood, um, relating to her family. But anyways, she started school. I forgot what grade it was, but um, she go to school. She start making friends. She start making friends, and she likes her teacher. Right, her teacher also comes from a kind of a kind of a harsh childhood. Not harsh. I wouldn't say harsh, but like a difficult childhood. Her mom died at she was a young age, and her dad died at a young age. So um, the mother's, I think, step sister kind of um, raised her, since both her parents died, and it shows in the movie like, all right, the not teacher, but the stepsister is actually the principal of the school that Matilda attends. So the principal's name is Miss Crunchbull. So, but it shows, the teacher's upbringings. Um, so Miss Crunchbull is basically Matilda's teacher's, like kind of basically she became the stepmother. So it shows them when the teacher was young, how she basically, ooh, she, she never liked Mrs. Crunchbull, you know, but it did show like when the mom died, and then a little later the dad died. Um, you know, they say that the dad died over suicidal, but I believe that Miss Crunchbull poisoned the father, you know. But to go on with it, yeah. So basically, the teacher and Matilda become like kind of, I would say close friends, like close. I would say yeah, not close friends, but they have a connection, kinda, because Matilda Matilda meets a nice teacher um, that appreciates her and her learning, and the teacher realizes that Matilda is an exceptional student, that she's very smart, and she goes and the teacher goes to the principal, asks, you know what, Matilda should be in a more advanced class, and Miss Crunchbull's like, what? No, what I'm saying, and she even threatens Miss Crunchbull even threatens the teacher. I can't remember the teacher's name, but and that reminds me of life. Like some people don't want you to, I think, be the greatest that you can be. They want you to kind of stay in your place. You know what I'm saying? Not, do too much, or some people don't want you to, like, I guess, be the great, yeah, like I said, be the greatest that you can be. You know what I'm saying? But you deserve that. I realize in life you deserve that, to be the greatest that you want to be, or even to be where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? But this movie, I feel like there's a lot of characteristics and things that I learned. How people want to be in control of other people's lives, how people want to dictate what you can or can't do, how people can manipulate, how people can override a lot of things, how people can try to keep a blind secret, like what I'm saying, try to hide things so you won't really know the real, about what happened, or even um, what's going on in life. It's kind of so even with that, throughout the movie, Matilda is really growing and growing, and she's realizing, I can be more. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be more, and I want to be in control like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in control of my life, and she's starting to realize, damn, I am. Oh, and also, uh, Matilda, Matilda, it was like one day where she recognized, then I have power. The power comes from, 'cause I think one day her father screamed at her, and with Matilda's mind, she basically does, what's it called? Kind of like Mister from X-Men, the bald head guy. Um, she does like a, what's it called? Like mind control. Like she closed the door with her mind. You know what I'm saying? Because Dad was screaming at her. She closed her bedroom door with her mind. You know what I'm saying? And that comes from anger. But she realized, damn, I have a superpower. And I thought that was cool. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was cool because she realized, damn, I'm like a super, I got a superpower that no one knows that I know. You know what I'm saying? This is cool. I'm realizing I'm more than that, what I thought I was. You know what I'm saying? And she continues to use that power um, throughout the movie. Like she continues to, you know what's crazy? She continues to use her power against the villains. You know what I'm saying? But even with that power, you gotta know how to control it and not get caught up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta control your power. We all have power. You gotta know how to control it for the good and bad reasons. But yeah, I mostly want to talk about all that, the traits, and power, and Matilda just finding who she really is. She's great. You know, she's growing. She realizes I'm strong. I'm strong. I'm in control. They can't control me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm great. I'm more than anybody thinks. Doesn't matter if I'm different. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What makes you different makes you. You got to keep on finding, who you are year by year by year. At the end, she actually gets adopted by her teacher, which I thought was cool. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, yeah. So Matilda came out in the '90s. No, my bad, 1990s. It's a movie that if you haven't seen, you should watch it. Peace.